What I want to do here is show you guys a technique using the pen tool to trace a part of the logo we sketched inside of Photoshop, and another technique using a pre-existing font, breaking it down into graphics, and then using that. So I have a brand new document open, and all I did was choose a typical letter, 8.5 by 11, and I put it on the landscape mode here instead of portrait. To get my artwork in Illustrator, I'm going to go to File, Place. I'll head to my desktop where I have that sketch, and I place it into position, and then I'm going to go to my layers. I'm going to double click on this layer here, right here on the side. I'm going to call this Sketch, and I'm going to click Template. I want to make this a template so I don't see this as strong, and it automatically will lock that layer. I'm also going to take where it says Dim Images and knock it down to about 30% so it's more invisible, as it were. It's not as powerful, so it's less visible. If you want to change that, you can always double click here again and diminish this even more, maybe 20%. It's only a reference, so you don't really want to see it too clearly. So I'm going to just do a little bit here. I have a brand new layer, and I'm going to just call this Trace. I'll change this color here to blue, and I'm going to grab the pen tool. I'm also going to turn this swatch off so we don't have a fill color and just an outline. So I'll click right here, and it gets rid of the fill. And what I'm going to do is zoom in with the magnifying glass and just show you that we can use this pen tool to click and drag or click and click to create shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and click one time, and I'm not dragging my mouse right now. I'm simply going to move my mouse over here, click again, come down here, click. I'm just going to follow this shape. Now there is a curve here, so I'm going to click down here, hold my mouse down, and drag to the right to pull that curve the way I want it to go. If you guys are more interested in learning about Illustrator, check out my full Illustrator CS6 course at the VTC website. It's a great application, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and click here now to turn off that tendency for the curve to go that way, and I can change direction. I'm going to come here. I'll click. I'll come way down here. Click, click, click. And once again, I have a curve, so I'm going to click on this point here, which was the very first point, and I'm going to drag. You can use this technique to go around your entire logo, one letter at a time. Just make sure you close that shape like I did by clicking on the very first point you put down to create your letter. So in other words, click, 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 and then close it by going to the very first point you put down. You'll see a little circle up here under your pen tool. Now that shape's closed, and you can continue working on a different letter. All right, so that's one technique that you guys can use. The other technique, and I'll go ahead and just hide all this stuff and create a brand new layer, is to simply grab a font or text. So I'm going to go ahead and click here, and I'll type an M. I'll make it pretty large by grabbing my selection tool. Now let's say that I want to turn this into my Mixmaster logo. All right, just make believe I had the whole word here. So what I could do is I can then go to the character menu, and I can change this to a different font. So let's just choose something crazy for now. Maybe, let's see if I can find something kind of cool. We'll go to Sergeant Six-Pack. And as you see here, if I were to try to manipulate this text, I can't do anything because the direct selection tool, or the white arrow, doesn't give us the ability to grab those points like we created with the pen tool. For example, if I use the pen tool, I can grab the white arrow, and I can click on these points, and I can reshape whatever it is I draw. Well, my friends, we can do the same thing with a font. All we have to do is turn it into something called outlines. So I'm going to go to the Type menu, Create Outlines. Voila! You now have points. I'll go to the View menu and choose Outline Mode so you can see that more clearly. I'll deselect it, and I'll click on it like this. And I'll also turn this layer into different colors so it's a little easier to see. This is the main reason I keep changing these to blue, because the green is distracting. So now I can grab my direct selection tool, and I can drag select some points, and I can reshape this. And I can create my own version of a logo. So as you see, I'm giving these some bell bottoms here. All right, bell bottom pants. And I can take my time and create my own logo or font by taking an existing font and just manipulating it. So guys, whatever method you choose, you can either drag and create outlines like I just did with a pre-existing font, or you can use the pen tool to slowly but surely trace over each letter to create your logo. So whatever method you choose, let's go ahead and talk about how we can bring this into After Effects so we can extrude it.